Do you think that people look at you differently if you seek mental health support in the military?
Oh yeah, 100%. But
Do they
yeah,
treat you differently? Do they like, do your
yeah,
higher ups treat you differently?
oh yeah. That just looks like you quit and trying to get out of a contract.
So it makes you not want to seek support or no? Like, do you,
No, yeah, no, no.
okay.
Because it like if you go if you take it up, so you're like, oh, I don't feel good about my life or whatever. Well, now they're like the military looks at you as like this guy's a liability, so he's not going to get his gun. Now you can't go do your job, and then it's just like the whole thing. So that's like the main reason why no one, yeah,
Would you say the majority of people in the Marines are struggling with mental health stuff? Or what
yeah,
would
probably
like
to
what
a point,
percentage?
probably like 60%, and then you just don't know. You really don't know.
Yeah. And
No one's
how
going to say
many
anything.
would you guess out of this estimated 60, how many of those do you think are getting help?
Oh, none. I mean, maybe
None.
one season two. Yeah, no. That's,
That started with our company. We lost nine to mental health that they couldn't take boot camp.
Mm,
But so I don't know what that would, I
that's
don't know if they,
interesting still. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if they, if they were able to even see anybody, but they just got discharged, and I forget what it was called, but it was a mental discharge,
Okay.
because they couldn't make it through boot camp.
Oh, did the military provide any drugs to soldiers?
No,
No. Okay.
no, they did do what they, if because they would try to give you a chance if you got in trouble with alcohol or whatever, if you got a DUI or you got something like that, they had they would put them in a program and try to help them so that they wouldn't just immediately kick them out of the Navy. They tried to give them a chance, and they did have a drug. I think it was called Antabuse, and it was a pill, and you would take that and take it every day, and they had to go down, and the master at arms would watch them take the pill, and then if they tried to drink any alcohol, they would get sick. It would
Oh.
force them to get sick, so that but I don't know if they do that anymore, but they.
Ton of resources.
Mm-hmm.
So the crisis comes in less to do with the veteran identity and more, I would say, to do with sort of stereotypically being young men, right? I think the crisis is really more, I think, around young men and the way they're taught not to ask for help, not to reach out. And then what happens with the veteran group is they tend to be a larger percentage of that. Because we see less and less students, obviously there's not a theater of war anymore, so they're not experiencing some of that, the combat stress or the moral injury piece. And obviously that's a thing. And then in Northern Colorado, though, we have, for instance, the Vital program is on campus, which basically provides mental health and the health network led by from the VA. There's obviously the health network, there's the vet center, there's the vet clinic. So there's actually a lot of resources.
We got we got cigarettes in our C rations, and and when we did get them, but alcohol, yeah, it was there. We could, every base had a men's club where you could get your beer.
Definitely is enough great resources for us to use. I think that there's very easily obtainable numbers to call, people to see, emails to send. There's plenty of resources that we can take, but I think the stigmatism of going to those people and taking that first step in the military is very frowned upon. And yeah, even though there's courses and there's classes, I think that it's not really speaking to the younger generation of the Air Force when we're telling them, hey, it is okay if you have a problem. It is okay for you to be human, and it is okay to go seek out help. And I think if we could just get that message across in a better way, rather than just having a bunch of people sit in a classroom and have somebody talk to you, I think that the message will stick way better when you have someone to talk with you have someone to share experiences with and tell you, hey, I've been in your shoes, and it's okay to seek out help. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you frowned upon. It makes you a man. So I think that's very important.